What's up, everyone? It's Gimson, and this is August Q&A. So this month we had 5 questions. So the first question is from Badger, and Badger said, do I ever intend or feel comfortable with pursuing acting? Yes, I do. I mean, I've done my bits and bobs, as you said in your comment, like in I Love You Baby, which is probably my favourite music video.
So where the fuck were you? I was outside for ages.
My mate Steve made sure I made it home safely.
What? How?
We both shared a taxi.
You shared a fucking taxi? Did you fuck him on the backseat?
Down to the sheer production that went into it, the organisation, everything about it. It was really granular, like to the meticulous detail, like the planning and everything that went into it, and everyone that come together for it. It was just, it was really, it was a really beautiful thing to work on. So, but as far as like speaking roles and stuff, yeah, sure, I would love to if the role was right. I mean, I've got no like drama school experience or fuck all, but yeah, if someone wants to, if it's a role, if it's something that I like the looks of or something that I enjoy, and someone would wants to get me involved, then yeah. I mean, I've got no plans to like actively seek that out at the moment. I mean, my schedule at the moment is pretty fucking full on, to be honest. I am toying with the idea of starting like almost like a kind of TV chat show type thing, a bit like a Jonathan Ross or a Big Nasty type show, and just running that on my YouTube channel. That's something I'm toying with ideas of at the moment. But as far as acting, it's not something I'm actively seeking out, but it is definitely something that I would be happy to partake in the future. The not too distant future even, but yeah, something that I would like to do, providing the role's right. The other thing is, I don't actually know if I'm any good at acting. That's the other thing. I might be really fucking shit at it. Because it's a tough thing to do in acting. You know, like when you've got to fucking try and act normal on camera. Saying that, it's like doing this. Do you know what? When I first started doing these fucking talking to the camera videos, I felt like a right prick. I was like, I'm 34 years old and I'm like fucking making YouTube videos. What the fuck am I doing? But all that's just the ego fucking telling me, you can't do this. What are you doing? It's like the same as like before when you go and do like a gig or you go and do something and your ego telling you, what the fuck are you doing? You can't do this. You're no good. You just got to silence those voices in your head and be like, what the fuck? Like, do you mean? It's, yeah. Ideation without execution is delusion, in the words of Robin Sharma. Yeah, we just got to go for these things, aren't we? The only way we can do it is to take action. So yeah, silent those fucking ego voices and yeah, do it. I've gone off on a tangent. What the fuck was I talking about? Oh yeah, making the videos on here and how it's how I felt like a bit of a prick at first. So yeah, felt like a prick at first. So it's like everything. I'm wanting to fucking give it a shot, man. It's just challenge myself, put myself out of my comfort zone, take a leap. So yeah, it is something that I would like to do, mate. Thank you for your question. Any more? Again, put them in the comments for me. For next month, for September. Oh, and I've got to fucking give a massive big up to Badger, because he sent me a video back, basically like a little video review, like personally to me, not to like, to me like an actual video he sent to me of my Waste of Air LP. And yeah, it was really good, man. I'm actually going to chop some of it up because I've got some footage of Roscoe talking about the Waste of Air LP. So anyone else like who's got a copy of it, I'm gonna ask a few people if they also want to say a few words on it. But Badger, like, I didn't ask Badger to like do this, and because from him doing this, he's kind of spawned me the idea to make this like testimonial type video for the Waste of Air project. So big love, Badger, man. Thank you for that. And the video is like all the words in it, like, do you mean it's yeah, thank you for all your kind words. And thank you for your support, because Badger is like, I never met Badger before he was listening to my music. So yeah, and Badger's like supported my music since sort of like Super Best Friends. When he seen me, the Super Best Friends I did was a track with Twisted Roots back in 2013.
I'm a paranoid mess, just not on the surface. Closed doors and drawn curtains, but paranoia don't run in my genes. It's more than to the drugs that I did in my teens.
And Badger supported since then. So yeah, so much love for Badger and all your support, man. So thank you, brother. Right, so the next 3 questions I've got are all from Shaun. So the first question Shaun said is, if I could go back to when I started doing music with my experience and knowledge now, would I do anything differently? Yes. However, I feel this is like one of them which is a bit of a paradox, because I wouldn't have listened to me. Like most people in life, you learn from your experiences, and until you experience it, the advice you can kind of listen to, but it's, yeah, you're still gonna fucking not do it until you've truly experienced, and you have to fail. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, I mean, what would I do different? What would I tell myself to do differently? So I would tell myself to put more time into it. Put more time into it. Don't procrastinate so much. But maybe for a reason I didn't release as much as I should have released, because I've got a hard drive full of so many songs that have been made over the years, and I was like, nah, this song's too good, I don't want to release it, I want to wait for this one to be released.
People see that music is an art form. There's so much garbage just leaving my heart. So music these days don't feel like it did, because the scene's just full of half-hearted bricks.
That was a really backwards thing to do, because by me doing that, those songs are now outdated. They don't really fit with what I'm trying to do now, the message now. But songs are a moment in time. As Damien Keys always says, he says that is a moment in time. No one wants to fucking, do you know what I mean? They want that then. That's now. That's your moment in time. Release it now. Do you know what I mean? You go back to it in the future, it's not, that moment's gone. You've lost that moment. Like, capture every moment. So yeah, that would be the advice, is to don't hoard your shit. Don't keep it back. Again, don't at the same time, don't like just fucking release anything, because quality is definitely a better thing than quantity.
She's just too tempting for me, so I need to leave before I hurt my wifey.
But time, spend more time doing like what you really, really enjoy doing. I had like a stint in my 20s where I spent a lot of time just like chasing money and like working a lot of hours and working in a job that is like, it's not really well paid, but like there's not the satisfaction. Do you know what I mean? It's like I'm a creative person at heart. I like creating. So I would say, yeah, like put more time. That would be it. Put more time into it and take more time to learn the industry side of it. I would also, knowing what I know now, is I would say, don't try and act like a superstar. Don't like Do you know what I mean? Don't like with like comments. Like if someone comments, make sure you rain down your praises on that person who comments. Always engage with everyone that talks to you, all that sort of stuff. Do you know what I mean? It's like the days are gone of like some fucking rock group, which I've like got like some mystery to them. Do you know what I mean? Like this, there isn't that anymore. It's like, do you know what I mean? People want to talk to you. They want the authentic you. They want the real you. They want to know what you're doing. That sort of shit. Do you know what I mean? It's all well and good. Beyonce, like saying, like the days are gone where you put your music out, people just listen to your music. Yeah, that's all well and good if like it was like 10 years ago or maybe even longer. But people want to see more. Do you know what I mean? We live in the world with like social media and whatnot, and whether you like it or not, that is what people want to see. So I would say just don't be shy about showing you your authentic self. So yeah, main takeaways from that, I would say spend your time more wisely, focus on just keep grinding and doing the music rather than getting distracted with other things. I would have also said to myself to educate myself. That was it, wasn't it? So yeah, time and education. That would have been the two things that I would have advised myself to do differently. Right, Sean, what was your next question? Do I have any music videos being released in the near future? Yes, I do. So, what date is this video going out? This video is going out. So I should be do you know what I need to do? I must. And that's another thing as well I've started doing. Stop using words like need, because it's like needy, and just use must. I must do this. So yeah, I must get more organised and realise what dates and stuff are coming out. So basically, this is coming out on the 4th. Right, so cool. When you see this, you've got a week on Friday. So the 14th, no, that's wrong.
Sort your fucking life out, mate.
Tuesday the 11th. So next Tuesday. Yeah. So this Tuesday, the Q&A is going out. So next Tuesday is the Shrink's Wet Dream video.
2.4 children, this family's dysfunctional. Sit around the table and lie, it's uncomfortable.
That one's done with Chris. There will be a teaser on Sunday for that. Then so Tuesday 11th, you've got the Shrink's Wet Dream video coming out. Friday the 14th, you've got Modern Violence Remix coming out, which is a collaboration I've done with the Joyful Sadness.
Structure was needed, when gods and kings fell, money succeeded, or divisions impeded, the egos were greedy, there's a head and a heart, which one did you lead with?
And then on Friday the 28th of August, you've got Why Don't You Listen to Me music video alongside Roscoe and Yasmin. And then September there'll be another music video alongside Recco and Hannah Collins for a song called Rise Up.
Teenage kids out doing creepers because imagery and marketing made them want sneakers.
And then there'll be one, maybe more music videos every month. I'm also going to be doing like acoustic versions of the singles and stuff like that. But yeah, there's definitely music videos planned for the near and distant future. So yeah, I've got you covered, mate. Your next question was, if I was approached by a label, would I sign? Depends. Yeah, really does depend. What does the label want from me? What does the label want to? What does the label offer? That's all it is. All it is a contract. I have got nothing against labels, but I wouldn't just sign a label to be on a label. Being on a label is a business transaction. So for people who don't know about how the music industry works, watching this, basically the record label will loan you the money to fund your projects, your tours, all that sort of stuff. So they basically pay for it. And then you basically make them the money back. And then once you've made them the money back, then you can start earning some profit. But the trouble with labels is labels will own your masters. And that is the one downside to it. So I don't really fancy giving away my masters. I quite like owning my own shit. I quite like doing things myself. So it would have to be a really fucking good deal if a label wanted to sign me. I would more likely sign with a label that was a bit more authentic about the way they do their dealings. So like an independent label, rather than a major. But I think majors are a fucking thing of the past anyway, to be honest, mate. There was a video that Damien Keys put up the other day, which was quite interesting, basically saying about has Drake just fucking changed the music industry forever? He's going independent, and a major label artist like Drake going independent could like create a ripple effect of other big artists doing it.
This week, in an interview between music industry veteran Steve Stout and rap artist Russ, they discuss Drake going independent and away from major labels. And if that happens, they say that is the end of the music industry.
I don't think you need a label. Definitely think you need a strong team. I do have a team. I mean, but a lot of what I do is myself. So I schedule all the social media stuff because I schedule that before it goes out. I'm very advanced with the Instagram. So everything's like, it's block scheduled. So what am I releasing for the month? And then I'll tweak it weekly. And I use a software called Later. And that will schedule out my Instagram posts for the month. And things like that. So all the content creation, stuff like that. These videos, which I'm recording now, are all edited and done by me. Music videos, I mean, I got Chris from the Candy Farm. I would class him as a team member, and he's a good friend of mine. So I like Chris to do my more elaborate and artistic music videos because he's the fucking G at that. I'm not at that level, and it's too time consuming for me to go into doing big fucking epic music video projects like that. At the moment, with all the stuff I got going on, I mean, I got 2 kids, a full-time job, and music. Music is not my full-time job. I mean, it's fucking, all this is on the side. So it's, I mean, I'm trying to kind of treat it like a business now, and actually try and make some money within the next few years. But it's like anything, you got to inject the cash and you got to inject the time into something at the front for your work. It's like growing vegetables. You plant your seeds, you got to make sure you give them the right soil, the right nutrients, enough water for them to grow. It's like everything. So yeah, it's the time that you put in. So yeah, I'm happy to do it alone with a strong team. But if the label deal was right, I would sign. I'd have to really get on with them as people, and they'd have to be offering. It would have to really benefit me in some sort of way. I hope that that answers your answers satisfactory. So I asked if there was like any features and stuff like that you'd like to see me do, wouldn't it? So he said he'd like to. Sean, you said you'd like me to do a track with Dane and Dash, if I can find him. Yeah, I've got Dash on Instagram. I love Dash's style, man. He's still Dash. So yeah, I'd happily do another collaboration with Dash. We've done a couple in the past. So there was Flames of a Dragon that we did. That was with Hannah Collins. I'll put a link to Flames of the Dragon. It's on Spotify and all the other streaming platforms. That was Robert, man. But yeah, I'll put a link to that. And Dane, yeah, me and Dane are in talks at the moment, man. Like, yeah, my old country cartel buddy Dane. We've, me and Roscoe are working on the Tag Team Partners Volume 2 project, so I'm sure Dane will be on a couple of those tracks. But yeah, me and Dane have been talking about a few things as well. So I'm thinking about doing a TV chat show, and Dane, I'm getting to kind of help me with some ideas for that. But yeah, okay, cool. Take it on. That is noted. I will push harder to get these collaborations. You'd like to see a full-length studio session and a day in the life video. Okay, cool. So full-length studio session would be quite cool. I tell you what would be good for that, if I get a nice little jamming session going on. And what I'll do, if there's any people that you'd like me to do the studio session with, I mean, my studio's not that big, so say pick like a couple of artists that you'd like to see me in there with, ones that you know that I'm close with, that would easily come and do it. So yeah, pick a couple of artists you'd want me to do a studio session with, and I'll tell you what, we will create a beat and we will write raps there for it and put verses on. So me and two others, you pick, and I will do my damn hardest to make sure that they're up for doing this video, and I would do that for a full studio session. And the other one you want to see was a day in the life. I mean, I don't know if you follow me on Instagram, but I'm trying to kind of do that on there. But yeah, comment, let me know further, like what kind of thing, just like me, as I go about my day and what I do. I don't know, the trouble is when it's your own life, innit, you never think that you're that interesting. You think, fucking, why does anyone want to see me go and do that? But then there's other people like that I follow on Instagram and whatnot, and I follow their stories, and I'm like, fucking, yeah, I follow it. Like, do you mean it's interesting? I'm interested in other people's lives. You always forget that other people may be interested in what you're doing, and the shit that doesn't interest you in your life that you're doing, like, I don't know, certain tasks like growing vegetables in your garden or whatever, other people may find that shit interesting. I guess it's the character behind it, isn't it, really? Whether they buy into you or not. But yeah, cool. Save Shaun for the questions. Any more, again, put them below for next month. And yeah, let me know those two artists that you'd like to see me in the studio with. Anyone else, any questions, suggestions, anything like that, put it below, let me know. And yeah, safe, love and gratitude. I'm going to discuss the Waste of Air LP front cover, the artwork, because I went into it in the Waste of Air production breakdown. But I did say if anyone wanted some more information on it, to put a comment. So Badger and John Seaton, they both said that they'd like to hear more on the artwork and how it happened. So the artwork of the Waste of Air LP is me taken at the RUH before I got admitted to a decompression chamber having a diving accident. So I've got my advanced open water PADI diving certificate. I mean, I'm not the greatest diver in the world. I only do it like when I've been abroad, like on holiday a few times. So I decided if I'd done these courses, well, to get the best bang out of my buck, and I do enjoy diving, that I'd do some in the UK. So I came back, I found like a local group that did diving, and joined this little local group, and then I went and did my dry suit course with them. So dry suit diving, if anyone don't know anything about diving, so you've got a wetsuit. So wetsuit is what you see like a surfer wearing, and like the water gets in, and like the water between the material and your skin is what keeps you warm. But dry suit is what it says on the tin. Like, do you mean a dry suit keeps you dry? So it's got this extra thing to worry about, so to speak. So I did that. So I'd only done the dry suit diving once. So I did the course, and then the week after, I volunteered to go down. I said, yeah, they were doing a dive down Portland, down near Weymouth. So I went down with Shani and Carvel at the time. Cecily hadn't been born then. This is before her. So we went down and we camped for the weekend down there. So I met them there on the Sunday, ready to go diving. So I went diving. But in a dry suit, you got to regulate your buoyancy with the dry suit. And yeah, what had happened is I'd lost control of my buoyancy on the dry suit. So I'm regulating it on my BCD, making sure I'm buoyant, but then like it's gone and I've lost control, and I shot up from 18 meters after I've been down for about 30 minutes. So basically when you're diving, you need to come up slowly. The best way to describe it is, so if you shake up a fizzy drink bottle, you get the bubbles. If you open the bottle, then like the bubbles fucking go everywhere, innit? So when you're diving, it kind of does that with your blood, with like the nitrogen bubbles in your blood. So when you come up, you need to come up slowly because otherwise the bubbles just... and that's how you get the bends. So I shot up from 18 meters after being down for about a half hour. I felt all right when I first come up. I got straight on the pure oxygen, which is what you're supposed to do. But it was later on that evening. We were sat in flat, and I said to Shaun, I said, I don't feel right. You know what I mean? Like, I was bending over, and everything was aching. So I said, yeah, I don't feel too good. I said, I'm going to ring 111 and see what they say. So I rang 111. So then they said, okay, from what the symptoms you're describing, we're going to send a paramedic out to you. So they sent a paramedic out, and he didn't know. So it was one of the guys in the cars, you know. They didn't come in a full-blown ambulance. He just turned up in the car, and he come up in the house, got all his equipment out, took like all my measurements, or whatever they're supposed to be taking. They said everything seemed normal. So he said he didn't know enough about it, and said he'd ring the air ambulance. So the guy from the air ambulance may know more about diving accidents. So he rang him. He said no. He said about the decompression chamber down in pool, but he said, again, he didn't have enough knowledge on it to be able to help this paramedic. So after that, he said, right, he's going to take me into the RUH, the Royal United Hospital, into Bath, and from there, they're going to run some more tests and see what they can do. So again, went to the RUH in this guy's paramedic vehicle. Got there, and the doctor or the nurse, whoever it was who was dealing with me in the RUH, he said, again, he had no knowledge of it, didn't know. So all the time, they kept me on the pure air. And that's where the selfie, the photo come from, whilst I was in the RUH. Sent it to my missus, saying, yeah, I think it's going to be a long night. When they said that they were going to send me down to a pool, to the decompression chamber. So they put me in the back of this ambulance and drove me all the way down to Poole, where I spent the night in a decompression chamber. What you do, you go in there, and it's like getting into a spaceship. So it's like this old airlock, and then you go in, then you go into another bed, and there's like two beds in the cell. One of the guys come in with me, and then there was another guy who stayed on the outside. And what they do, they got this little funky little airlock thing that they put magazines and stuff in if you want to read, because you're in there for a long time. I can't remember how many hours I was in there for. I was in there overnight. I was in there all night. So I must have got down there maybe about midnight, and I must have got out at 8, 9 o'clock in the morning, probably, maybe 10, something like that. I don't know, it was all night. But yeah, so every now and then you're in this little pod type thing. It's old, it's like being in an old steam train or something like that, the design of it, big metal, industrial, 1950s British engineering at its best, do you know what I mean? It's so you're in this tank, and they crank the pressure down so that you're back down to 18 meters where I was when I shot up. So they put me at that pressure, and then they got me to breathe pure air every so often. So every so often I had to put this helmet thing on, which is just pure air, and I think I did a 15-minute stint on the pure air. Then a few hours later I had to do another 15-minute, and then I had to do the final one. I think it was 20 minutes. So yeah, on and off, sleeping and that in there. It was I tell you what, the beds are like. They're like beds in the police station. That's what it's like being on the blue mats for a night. But yeah, that was pretty much the experience. And then I had to get up in the morning. I had to make my way back from Poole, which was eventful, because I didn't go into the hospital prepared for any of this. So I didn't have any of my shit with me. And my missus didn't want to come and get me because it wasn't fair on Carvel, because he was really young at the time. And we drove back from Weymouth the day before, do you know what I mean? So she didn't fancy just coming down to Poole to get me. So yeah, I had to work my way back the next day. But yeah, that is the story behind the artwork. I haven't been diving since. I do want to go again. Yeah, don't know if I want to go in a dry suit again, but yeah, I do enjoy it, man. It is great. It's expensive, but it's good fun, man.